And we're back with some more oxygen not included on Badlands. Ravaging Hungry Edition. Now, down here I have been vacuuming at this volcanic area. Well, volcano area. I want to get this volcano, top it up with magma, and I want to use this to melt some rust later. Do we need to melt the rust? No, but I do want to give it a try. It seems like a fun project. And since we're going to be getting into regolith melting later on, it seems like that would actually be a nice way to get started. Quick look at our potentials. You know what? We've already got enough people for now. We'll take the acorn seed. Oh, and before we go on, there's always questions about how did I get so many tree acorn seeds? Well, normally what I do is I just dump them into a room like this, put a couple of pips in there, and the pips will rummage through the trees for acorns when they grow of age. They won't rummage through them when they're just this trunk, but once they start sending off branches, that's when they'll start rummaging through them. And then I'll usually set them to be harvested as well automatically. I've turned these off a while back. I'll set them to be harvested as well. And when you harvest the branches, you also have a chance of developing seeds. But it takes a long time. If you've only got one seed, yeah, it will be a long time before you've got a lot of seeds. So start this and expect to put about 100 or 200 cycles into it. I usually get 2 of these rooms going on until I've got enough seeds. And then I'll do one of these rows. Or maybe, yeah, I think I got one of these rows down almost straight away. I had that many seeds when I started. Just a good thing to note about acorns. However, while I was doing this, it's come to my attention a few things. One, the game is running really slowly right about now. It's feeling very chuggish, so what I want to do is do a giant sweep in the background. Don't worry, we'll skip all of that. You have no need to see it, but just to let you know that there will be quite a skip forward in time between now and then. It's like 8:06, and we've got 44 tons of steel. Less than 20 cycles later, and I'd already got bored of waiting, so I queued up a bit of demolition of the space biome. Everything in this area here, I'm going to have it dug out and then swept as well. And then everything over this side, I'll have that dug out and swept as well. Just might as well get it all done. If I'm going to do a big sweep, I might as well do it all at once. That should make things a little bit simpler. Well, hopefully make the game less laggy. What are we at? We're at 20 cycles later, so 836 cycles and 67 tons of steel by now. It's 40 cycles later, and we're up to about 93 tons of steel. I actually paused the steel production for a while just so I could free up more of my dupes to try and get everything swept. It's not working. I need a lot more dupes to get this sweep done. It's just there's so many chores that I've got going on. I've been going around trying to simplify things. I did a few minor changes here. I put in an extra bit of heat sink in here by dumping in a bunch of water. It helps keep the temperature of this more regulated. All I want to do is keep the temperature here below 70. And the water just means when the wood does come through, there's more mass to soak up the chill so that it doesn't overheat for as long. Well, that's the theory, and it seems to have stabilized it, but I haven't had long enough of a run at it to see. So we don't have to worry. We've never seen any ethanol appearing in our chamber in our industrial sauna. I threw in an extra row of trees just to get more lumber. The reason being I want to try and not harvest these anymore. The lumber will actually fall off the vine on its own, though it takes about 8 cycles, I think. I'm going to have to do some more research to be sure, but it seems to take a long time. If it's too long, I might not be able to just completely automate it or ignore doing that. At the same time, let's have a quick look and see what blueprints have in store for us. I would like to take the animal husbandry, but that yokel, I just don't like it. It makes training them up that much more annoying. I can wait. There's plenty more that'll be along. Cannot do digging. No, thank you. We'll just take the gristleberries. It's fine. Next up, though, since I'm not going to wait for any of that to be done, and we have just ludicrous amounts of steel, and still going up, we're going to have another 100 cycles, we'll have another 100 tons of steel. So let's spend some of that and put ourselves in a steam rocket. I'm thinking we'll stick one in right about here. Well, I'm busy demolishing the area for our steam rocket that we're going to stick in here. I thought we have to get another telescope as well. The telescope will allow us to scan the stars and see which ones we're going to go to first. However, you do need to put in oxygen to these things, and this has always been an annoyance for me, because when you put oxygen into these things, I normally end up building an electrolyzer close to the top of the map, or I end up bringing oxygen all the way from down the bottom of the map, meaning I'm just running a big long gas pipe. So I thought I'd try a little local solution, just something localized only for this telescope. But before I get into that, I might want to take care of this mess. Oops. Oopsie. Yeah, let's make that a high priority sweep all through there. I think a bunch of hot stuff ended up on top of that plastic and now has melted everything. Well, it hasn't melted the transit tube crossing, thankfully, so we're not losing any oxygen just yet. I think I'm going to repair this. All right, mess averted. At least the transport appears fine. Now this, I was thinking, I was going to go with algae to provide the oxygen, just because I've never bothered doing that before until I realized I've only got 5 tons of algae left. I might want to go with a rusty oxidizer. It'll be slightly more complicated, but not too much more. This silly-looking abomination which, yeah, it is. It's not exactly my smartest play, but I thought this only uses one. It's only one duplicate can be in this at a time, so let's just dump a little bit of oxygen in here using rust. Now, all it is a rusty oxidizer, a gas pump, and a gas filter. So we filter out the chlorine. Chlorine gets dumped into space. The oxygen gets dumped into the telescope, and that's it. Though we do need some way to get the rust and the rust and the salt in here, which is what the conveyor receptacles are for. You know what? Let's skip this forward a bit more and see how it plays out. And now the system comes online. It's pretty dumb. It's really, really dumb. Wait a minute, did I finish those lines? Thought I did. Why is the iron not going in? Ah, there we go. The rust, I should say. So the rust goes in here. Ah! Damn it, I left one space behind that open to the vacuum of space. That was a bit sloppy. One moment. Alright, there we go. A fully sealed up room, fully pressurized with oxygen, and we've got an oxygen pipe going directly into our telescope. Yeah, I probably would have been better just running a pipe, but it was nice to try something new for a change. Any of the non-oxygen gets filtered out and just dumped into space, as in the chlorine. We don't really care about that. It's not a lot of chlorine anyway. Also, I had to turn off my salt destruction that I was grinding up all the salt to turn it into sand. I turned that off so we at least have some salt to keep this running for a while. And now, after all of that, I should probably plug in some power to that telescope, shouldn't I? So I plugged in the power to the telescope, and then, of course, I'd forgotten lots of other things on the side. One is I'm going to need to put in a scanner, but at the same time, this telescope needs access to the stars, so I'm going to need to, open these doors, at which point a whole bunch of boiling hot regolith will fall on top of it, which would be bad. So we're going to avoid that, and we're going to put in our little C miner setup up here. Though, yeah, I did leave those 6 tiles of space at the top. If you'll notice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's can be up to 6 tiles of regolith on top of here, which means we have to give ourselves 6 tiles of space down here so that they don't touch our mining drills. We're planning on harvesting this regolith for later, so yeah, this is just how it turned out. So time to stick in the C miners across here. And that will be our C miner selection. Though I will point out, oh no, I made a mistake. I made those tiles out of copper ore. What was I thinking? How did that happen? Nope, that is bad. We are going to make everything out of steel. Yes, I know, that is dumb, but not really. Not with the way we're currently playing. We produce so much steel, it's sort of ludicrous. We'll be able to convert all our iron ore to steel. So iron ore is... How can I put this? If I take iron and I just use it for something, that's fine. Say iron ore. I take iron ore and I make a bunch of shipping rails. Say these ones over here. These shipping rails cost about 100 kilos of iron ore. However, if I smelt down, say, 4 of them, that would give me 400 kilos of iron ore, which I could then turn into 500 kilos of steel, which I could then use to make the shipping rails. So it's more efficient for me to convert the iron ore into steel. And since I can convert the steel at such a ridiculous rate, I'm better off just making everything out of steel. Okay, I've got very, very little copper on this map, so I might as well just replace everything with steel. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. I had forgotten what it was like to set these up really early on. Well, we're not really early on, but forgotten how much effort it goes into just getting space ready. It's one of those really big learning cliffs, in my opinion. To get a telescope up and running, you have to learn how scanners work, you have to learn how telescopes work, a whole bunch of stuff. But I think we're good to go. Once we get the last of this mined out, we'll be able to at least open up the scanner for business, and we can start getting a view on what's out there on the planets. We are almost ready to kick off. I just have to put in the space scanner right here. Once the space scanner is in, we should be... Well, it'll automatically open those doors. The miners should start kicking in and removing all that regolith, and we should be good to start. We're only opening 8 doors. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so those 8 doors will open, and that's all we're going to work with for space for now. We'll put in the rockets on the left-hand side, I think. Yeah, we have plenty of space on the left, and on the right-hand side, we'll put in our solar and things. I have a mod for deleting points of interest building, so I will be deleting this at some point, or deconstructing it. You can melt them. You can literally melt them if you want to go to an awful lot of effort. I've done it one time just to see if it could be done, and you can definitely melt them using metal refineries. That was entertaining, to say the least. Or, well, okay, very difficult, but yeah, just trying it one time was fun. You know what, I'll link it up in the top right if you're interested. Yeah, once this is sorted, we should be good to start. Oh, well, looks like the NOT gate worked, so yeah. Dupes got horribly trapped. You're not getting out of there anytime soon, are you, Norman? Maybe we should give them a hand. You know what? I think they'll find a way out of there now. They should be grand. Did anyone get entombed? No, I don't believe anyone did. Let's hope that space scanner gets up soon, because if a meteor shower comes in while it's not up and running, the doors won't automatically close for us. Now that is a lot of tasty regolith. We're going to be able to use that later, but for now, we can start up the space telescope. All of that just to get the telescope started. Let's analyze that object. This means we'll never have to worry about the telescope again. When there's skies open, our researcher will come along, hop in, and start researching the stars. Well, sometimes they'll even hop in when the bunker doors are closed and still research the skies. It's funny that way. Yeah, we'll come back to that later. For now, let's get started on our steam rockets. I think we're going to need this about 55 tiles high. Actually, let me double check something here. When it comes to building rockets, preparation is key. And in this instance, you want to make your rocket silo as tall as you're ever going to need it to be. And in my opinion, that is 55 tiles high. 55 tiles high will allow you to send a research rocket out to the furthest planet. And make sure it's exactly 55 tiles high. Don't have something like where the nose is going to be 55 tiles high. You do that, say, like that, and you think, oh, I'll just put my base right here. No, you'll be one tile short and the rocket nose will be sticking at the top. Make sure there's 55 tiles between there to there. Nothing worse than getting that rocket almost completed to realize it's not going to fit. So 55 tiles from here to right here. So you're excluding the bunker doors and you're excluding the floor. You need 55 tiles to sandwich in between because you're going to need the ability to put in 11 modules. You know what? This is taking a little bit too long. Let's double down and do 2 steam rockets. 2 steam rockets, knock them both out of the way at the same time. Why not? It'll just be faster that way. Yeah, then I can swap them out for petroleum and we can start getting a little bit of basic cargo in. When it comes to this, to filling these with steam, we are not even going to try to be subtle. That was my subtlety attempt over there. Here we are just going to throw gobs of power at the problem and make our steam problems disappear. Let's see, I think a bit of a steam box down here with an aqua tuner and we should be able to sort this out in no time at all. This is what it's going to look like. We're going to dump a bunch of water in here, get a thermal aqua tuner to, well, boil it, and once it's boiled we'll pump it straight into the rockets and be done with it. Which reminds me, I should keep building those while I'm at it. These things are so slow to build, you just gotta pile them up one module at a time. Anyway, once that's sorted, we'll dump in some really hot water. We have quite a lot of hot water down here. Our liquid tank has been filling up quite nicely in the background, and that water is almost close to boiling already. This is going to make doing steam rockets pretty easy. Now, I do need some sort of medium to dump the cold into? Otherwise, we're going to have problems. I was thinking probably petroleum. I got a bunches of that lying around the place. Whatever you do, don't forget to fill the place with lots and lots of drywall. You're going to need a butt ton of it, just to make sure the liquids don't escape into space. And I'm going to be filling this the good old-fashioned way with lots and lots of bottle emptiers for the petroleum at the bottom. It's just the way it is. Let's skip this forward a substantial amount, shall we? All right, a few things that need to happen here before we get started. Well, we need to fill in the petroleum, but we also need to grab in some hot water. I am diverting the waste lines. I have these set up so that if these areas overflow, as in there's too much liquid in here, they would zip along here and get dumped into space, just because we don't want to be wasting water. At the same time, I removed the waste vent that was here, and now we're just going to pump up as much water as we need. According to the rocket calculator site, it's about 1,400 kilos of water. So, yeah, I'll just eyeball it. That is 9 tiles wide, so if I fill that up to 200 kilos of water along the bottom, we'll have 1,800 kilos. We only need 14, so yeah, that should be pretty simple to arrange. Once that's done, we'll put in the polluted water, or the polluted water into the cooling loop, and we should be good to kick this sucker off. That actually went pretty well. Oh, yeah, I should really finish these off while I'm at it and stop yakking, shouldn't I? Yeah. Almost finished. We've just putting the command capsules on top. Now it's time to load this up with polluted water. Now, I've left the gas pumps off for the time being, as I don't want them kicking in before we're ready to fire. Well, before the temperature gets up above 100 C or so. If it kicks in before then, well, it could have a tendency to break in the pipe. So I like to get it just a little bit above what we need. Oh, I should also maybe, just maybe, put in some backing plates on there. That would be a good idea. Every time, there's always something I forget. Every damn time. On the bright side, it's not like I'm short of polluted water. I have 87 tons of the stuff just lying about the place. So I should be good on that front. That should start loading up the cooling loop. And that goes through the aquatuner. Aquatuner cranks it up. Aquatuner's connected up to this. If the temperature is below 110 C, it'll just keep working. That way it's just going to keep churning out heat until all of this water turns to steam. Now, okay, there's some potential problems here I can run into. How did clean water end up in there? What the? That makes no sense. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. The potential problems I could run into is this might actually get too cold down here, and if it gets too cold, the polluted water will freeze in the pipes. It's potential, but I think we've got more than enough cooling just to boil this water. We have such a small amount of water we've got to boil, it shouldn't be an issue. I think I know where that clean water is that's ending up in my pipes. Some of the polluted water when it lands down here is hitting the mafic rock and boiling. That's another option. I've used that before to boil stuff, is just to use the regolith that's lying around the place to boil your water. I just find this faster. It's usually quicker. It's more of an annoyance to try and get the regolith in without letting the steam out. This, yeah, there we go. Now it's starting to spread out. Those, I'll have to heat up those bunker tiles. I probably shouldn't have used those as a wall, but I'm not going to care. And there's plenty of chill. Well, there's plenty of heat left in this to absorb the chill, so I think we're good for a while longer. Well, fast forward this, and I need to get a couple of astronauts ready to go, don't I? I'll go grab some astronauts while this is spinning up. While this is going on, I should probably point out I made a few other changes during that giant sweep. The other one was I put in a third exosuit dock, just so I could have my duplicates get in and out a little bit easier, though why is there a big blob of water there? Never mind, we'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of that, and I think some water poured down there at some point. Never mind. Over here, where else was there? No, I think that was about the only major change I made. Everything else is pretty much the same, though our tank of water is now completely full, and I did get a few more runs of pacu fish that sort of showed up. Though I managed to scoop them up, though I think I should put down some more traps. Never mind. All worked out. I turned down, there was some good recommendations to turn down the shearing station. Lots of people recommended this. Turn down the priority on these so that the critter ranching got prioritized more. That way we get more slicksters groomed. So all the slicksters are, well, not all of them are groomed. Some of them still seem to be a bit glum. Though I'm not quite sure why. There should be people coming around to get around to it. Let's see on the errands list. Yeah, they're not really that high enough priority. The problem is just there's so many critters to ranch. On the bright side, I've hired a lot more pawns, duplicates, and we're going to skill up a bunch of them. Even one of them has +7 husbandry. Yeah, and I think Nicola has +3, so I've got to get names for them, but yeah, we'll be putting those into more husbandry, so we should have more critters. Alright, that's looking like we've hit about 110 C there. It's close enough across the board. I'm not going to worry about it. I have capped these off at 719 kilos. We'll turn that on. Done. Once both of these are full, we can launch them, and that will be all of steam science done. We can get enough science from this to get straight into petroleum, and yeah, we can demolish all of these. I really hate working with steam. Wait, no, that sounds wrong. You know what I mean. I hate working with steam in this game, not actual steam. No, I'm going to have to set up some doors so that these can launch, but and set up some power for that, but that should be no worries. 5 minutes tops. Alright, we've got our scanners hooked up. Those scanners are connected up here to the doors so that they can sense when the rockets are coming back. I haven't bothered renaming the rockets. They're only going to last for one launch. We have Camilla on here, and we have Trevor in the other rocket ready to go, and we are ready to open the doors. So we just crank those like that. It will get a little bit messy here. Oh, you, open. Dope. Timing. Alright, with all of that dropped down, yeah, we're going to entomb the bottom of the rockets just a little bit. That's fine by me. We shall immediately launch these rockets. You can go to the left one, and you can bring us back some science. You can go to the right one, and bring us back even more science. Wait, I said right one. Perfect. Never gets old. Jesus. They eventually disappear somewhere way out on the very edge. But that's enough of that. Enough wallowing. We close those up. When they do come back, the scanners will detect it and they should allow them in. For the time being, though, I'm going to have to maybe take that one up. This is only a temporary rocket facility, so there will be some minor modifications made at a later date. But since that's going to be all our science, we can now demolish all of this. Though I think, I'm out of time. I'm definitely out of time. I spent way too much time trying to clean up and do some minor side projects. Though on the bright side, this should be now have how much steam? Oh yes, we've got plenty of magma down here. I don't think I can do up the rust melter just yet, but once we do come back with some space materials, we should be fine. Oh, also in the background, I ran a giant bunch of piping. This tank over here of water, I have the pipe of it going all the way up here, all the way up, and it dumps into this saltwater tank, or kind of combines in so it can all go up and get desalinated. This desalinator is doing some heavy duty work. Like, it's desalinated pretty much all this tank. Okay, well, we do have some steam coming over from this section. And steel-wise, for those of you who are groaning every time I build lots and lots of stuff out of steel, we've got 94 tons of the stuff. I even built the automation wires here out of steel. Everything here is made out of steel. It's just dumb. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.